manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances.
We would yell at each other, fight, and argue all the time.
Sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person.
And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people.
After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits, but as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect.
Sweet mother of pearl, bro, Mizkif, as a wise man once said, your time has come.
Your time has come.
Now before we get into this, I am not happy about the situation at all, but I am very happy that this dude Mizkif is finally getting a lot of hate and is being exposed. Now I'm not a hater, nor do I care or watch these people when I'm not creating these videos, but I swear bro, this dude Mizkif constantly has these weird allegations placed upon him every year, bro. And it's always some creepy SA type of allegations. Now I always thought that this guy was a creep. I mean, not only is his reputation horrible, but he's just a flat out weirdo. Now recently the streamer Emiru, who is Mizkif's ex, would go on stream dropping the Mizkif files, bro. I mean, these allegations are preposterous to say the least, and this makes Mizkif look worse than Diddy himself, bro.
Finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gotten to the point, which I'll explain later.
He asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. I let him hold me while I was crying, and he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants, and I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, and instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now, I feel like I did something wrong, I have to go, and he immediately left my house while I was still crying, without checking if I was okay or anything.
Is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals, and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
Yeah, that's actually insane. And the thing that makes her statements more believable is the fact that Mizkif has had weird stuff like this over his head. Now Mizkif would actually end up responding to this.
This is exactly what happened, and she cannot argue this. One day, after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her, she wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years. and I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole, stop talking about past relationships, and yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want Emmy to get assaulted. I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this point, man. We would yell at each other, fight, and argue all the time. Things we never once did. I felt this relationship was taking a huge strain. But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more. Emiru has a lot of rabbits, but as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. These are mites all around her cage. Ew! I would tell her to take care of them all the time, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many died just over a year or two of being around in my house.
Bro is having horrendous allegations placed upon him, and dude is like, yeah, there's bugs in a rabbit cage. Like, bro, Chacho has got to be slower than a box of rocks. Now let me be clear, bro, this whole situation is really a he said, she said type of thing. I mean, as of right now, there's no hardcore evidence that Mizkif is guilty of these acts. But the internet is still siding with Emiru just because of Mizkif's reputation and the fact that he's just extremely unlikable. Now there is two sides to every story. In my opinion, I do think that there is some truth to Emiru's statements. In my opinion, Mizkif should be cancelled and banished to party.com, which is basically the streaming website that platforms all the most degenerate content creators such as Jack Doherty. I made a video about that site, link is in the description. I do feel like there is going to be some DMs or some text messages or photos or videos that are going to be leaking as the situation develops. But yeah, all in all, I do think that all the content creators involved are weirdos. For some reason, there's always some type of allegation of abuse or SA in these streamer circles. I mean, as the saying goes, birds of a feather flock together. If you're hanging around with 4 weirdos, then you're probably the 5th weirdo. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. Is Mizkif in the right? Is he wrong? Is Emiru lying? Let me know your guys' opinion. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. It would really mean a lot. But yeah, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.